All right, next up we have Chris, and I'm going to try to say it. Francescani, is that it?
Franciscani, that's right. You got it.
Francescani. I was like, man, I was reading these before we started, and I thought, David, don't screw this one up. So
Mhm.
I appreciate you being here, Chris.
Thanks very much for having me, David. I really appreciate it. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Give us what you got.
sure, absolutely. I was a journalist for most of my career. Really got into drones around 2013, and in 2019, I got ABC News, which I was working for at the time, to get me trained as a drone pilot for the company. And I left the company, got my Part 107, and started my drone company, Sunset Beach Films, out here on Eastern Long Island, which is the Hamptons, in last spring. And I took the name of the company from Drone Launch Academy instructor Alex Harris. In one of his teaser YouTube videos, he says, here's some advice: take photos, shoot sunsets. People can never get enough of sunsets. Always do sunsets. And I took his advice on that. And when I passed the mark of the 1K club, I had also taken his advice on creating town reels so that people can, as Kevin was saying, Maryland Drone Guy, they can buy and license some of your stock footage. I put together town reels for as many of the towns in the Hamptons as I could, and a British documentary company was making a Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous in the Hamptons documentary, purchased a bunch of my video, putting me over the. I swear to God, before I even called my closest friends or my family, I think I wrote to you, David, and Jorge and Audrey to let them
I
know
remember.
I had crossed the mark. I sent in all my documentation and everything. But I was really excited because Drone Launch Academy was a big part of my growth this past year as a drone pilot. I had no idea what I was doing, and
Mm,
worse still, I didn't know any drone pilots out here on Long
mm.
Island. I still don't know too many. I'm making friends as best I can, but to have you guys there to walk you through the accounting software, Google My Business, all the things that some of the other guests have talked about, it was invaluable to me. I just it was it helped me so much, and I couldn't thank you guys enough.
Man, I love
Really,
hearing that.
yeah, it really even your encouragement in the podcast. I've listened to every single podcast of the Drone to 1K. I've heard Kevin, and I've heard all of your great pilots you've had on. But sometimes in those podcasts, as you're talking to somebody, you'll say something like, I know it seems like forever. You got to just hang in there, keep at it, be consistent. It was just that kind of basic encouragement that got me through a time when I was really, literally all by myself. I had no
Mm.
one to talk to about it, no one to work with, no one to ask questions of.
Yeah,
And
that's
Launch
tough.
Academy was a big help in getting me through. And after that, I applied to be a secretary of New York State chapter of AUVSI, and I've got get a much bigger network since then.
Awesome, man.
But
That's great. I love hearing that too, and and that is so important, like you're saying, to just hang on. Quick story. Just I remember even I was starting drone launch. The first course we ever did, I didn't know what in the world I was doing. I never made an online course, and never sold anything. I mean, I was relatively new to drones. We were doing Part 7 stuff, and I think I had invested maybe 15 grand into a bunch of stuff and editing and all this stuff, and actually had Alex Harris. We met because he edited the Part 107 course, and then we became friends, and like did the video editing for it, and then we launched it, and I think we sold 2 courses, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna quit. This is stupid. But it's really just hanging in there, figuring it out. It's almost just whoever wins, just a game of who can just hold on the longest and hang in whatever business it is, and then eventually you just hit a point where things start to tick up, like we've heard from so many people. So I'm proud of you for sticking with it and staying in the game. That's just such a big part of it. So,
well, I really
um,
appreciate everything you've done and everybody at
well,
Drone
yeah.
Academy.
Would you? So, what's your advice to a new person who might be thinking about starting out, or is listening to this and they're thinking about it?
Sure, absolutely. The two biggest pieces of advice I give is um, have a sense of how much you're going to need to invest when you go into the best you can. There was a time when I thought that my Mavic 2 could cover everything. It could do
Mm,
mapping, it could do inspections, it could do everything you can imagine, and that's obviously not true. So know what you're getting into. I've definitely invested more than I expected I would.
Okay.
But the second piece of advice I would give is to build that network. Having people to be able to call when you're getting an error message on your drone or something like that, it's vital. Having people that you're in regular contact with,
Yep.
who are doing what you're doing, has also been a huge help to me. The times I felt most helpless were when I had no one to call. I think
Yep.
one time I called you guys when I had literally no one else to call, and I think Audrey listened to me for 45 minutes.
Well, no, I'm sure she was having time. She's actually on this call right now, so I'm
Mhm.
sure she's remembering that. So, well, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I love hearing your story. Congrats on another person getting on TV. It's really cool to see everybody's stuff taking off. So I love it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Hope you found that inspiring. And if you want to get results like you just heard, now's a perfect chance to join our Drone Business Mastery program. It is 50% off for the next few days up until this Friday. So if you've ever been thinking about starting a drone business, or you started one, you just can't really figure it out, get in there, learn from a ton of experts, let them lay the roadmap out for you. Time to take action is right now if you want to do this. So from now until Friday at midnight, 50% off. There should be a link around this video. I'm excited to see you in there. Learn with us, learn from others, and go out there and get some success.